Picture this. You wake up tomorrow morning, you skip breakfast, and by lunchtime you feel more energetic, focused, and mentally sharp than you have in months. Sound impossible? What if I told you that millions of people around the world are experiencing this exact transformation by simply changing when they eat, not what they eat? Today, we're diving deep into the world of fasting protocols. And I guarantee by the end of this video, you'll understand why this ancient practice has revolutionized modern health. Hey everyone, Dad here. Welcome back to the channel. But before we dive in, let me ask you something. How many times have you been told that breakfast is the most important meal of the day? Or that you need to eat every few hours to keep your metabolism running? What if everything you've been taught about eating patterns is completely backwards? Stay with me, because we're about to challenge everything you think you might know about nutrition timing. Fasting isn't some new trendy diet that appeared overnight on social media. Humans have been fasting for literally thousands of years, not by choice, but by necessity. Our ancestors didn't have refrigerators, grocery stores, or drive-thrus on every corner. They ate when food was available and went without it when it wasn't. Their bodies were perfectly designed to function and even thrive during periods without food. So whether you're looking to improve your metabolic health, support your hormones, or optimize your body composition, understanding how to fast properly can be transformative. Overall, I put this in the category of good stressors, or what I like to call micro stressor events. These are things like exercising, heat like a sauna, cold like a cold plunge. Alternatively, you have bad stress events, usually chronic stress events like a bad job or a bad relationship. Back to fasting though, it isn't a one-size-fits-all. What works for men may not work for women, and that protocol you choose actually matters more than you think. So in the next 10 minutes, we're going to cover why different fasting protocols for males and females work, why fasting varies between them, the science-backed benefits for your body, and when you should expect to see results. So let's dive in. Fasting is simply an extended period without food intake, but the key is to understand that we're already fasting every night when we sleep. The question is, how can we extend the natural fasting window to optimize our health? Based on current research, males tend to need slightly longer fasting periods to get the optimal benefits. So let's break down the most effective protocols for men. Here are some of the fasting methods for males. The 16/8 method. This method involves fasting for 16 hours daily, restricting your eating window to 8 hours. This is the most popular starting point for men. The example would be stop eating at 8, resume eating at 12 p.m. the next day. You could fit 2, 3, or even more meals within your eating window. And this is great for metabolic switching and insulin sensitivity. The second is a 24-hour fast. This is a full 24-hour fast. It's done twice per week maximum. The easiest way to do this is to start with shorter fasts, like 16-hour ones I just mentioned, and gradually build up. But an example of this would be you finish dinner at 7 p.m. on Monday and you don't eat till 7 p.m. on Tuesday. This is powerful for autophagy and cellular repair. The other one is a 4-2-1 method. This is actually the one that I use. It's also referred to as the feast-famine cycle. This is an advanced protocol. It combines different fasting intensities throughout the week. You fast for a full day. You complete the 16/8 protocol for 4 days, the one that I just mentioned, and then you feast for 2 days, normal eating without restriction. Example of this would be do your famine cycle on Monday. So you fast on Monday, you do the 16/8 on Tuesday through Friday, and then on Saturday and Sunday you do a feast cycle, and then you repeat. Now the thing about this is it mimics the ancestral eating patterns, and it actually prevents metabolic adaptation. Because if you continued 16/8 indefinitely, your body becomes adapted to it. The next one is a 5-2 diet. It restricts calories to 25% of your usual intake, about 500 calories for 2 days per week. and then you eat normally the other 5 days. So you have to allow 1 day between each fasting day, and it's good for those who prefer not to do complete fast. You could do alternate fasting, which is a fast every other day while eating normal on non-fasting days. You would consume 20 to 25% of your usual calories, and this is a more aggressive protocol for experienced fasters. And then the last is the warrior diet. This is the most extreme protocol, eating very little during a 20-hour fasting window, then 1 large meal at night. During the day, small amounts of raw vegetables and fruit. In the evening, 4 to 5 hour eating window for a main meal. This is not recommended for beginners. As we transition to females, here are where things get really important. Based on the current research, modified versions of intermittent fasting appear to be safer and more effective for most women. See, women's bodies are hormonally sensitive, and aggressive fasting can actually disrupt the delicate hormonal balance. So here's the most popular one for females. It's called the crescendo method. It's like the gold standard for women who are starting their fasting journey. So you'd fast for 12 to 16 hours, 2 to 3 days per week. The fasting days should be non-consecutive and spaced evenly. So an example, this would be you fast on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Start with 12-hour fasts and then gradually build up to 14 hours all the way to 16. This is gentle enough to avoid like hormonal disruption. The other one that females can do is a 5-2 diet. It's the same as the male protocol, but with extra caution. You restrict calories to 25%, about 500 calories 2 days per week. You eat normally the other 5 days. You allow for 1 day between fasting days. Modified alternative fasting. This is where you fast every other day. You consume 20 to 25% of your usual calories, about 500 calories again on fasting days, and you eat normally on non-fasting days. This is less aggressive than the male version, only for women with established fasting practice. 24-hour fast, which is a maximum of twice per week. Only building up from this from shorter fasts. So I would start with 14 to 16-hour fasts first, and then you'd monitor your menstrual cycle for any disruptions, and you would stop immediately if periods became irregular. Now, it's very important to call out if you experience loss of your menstrual cycle or any hormonal disruption, you should stop fasting immediately and consult your doctor. You're probably wondering why these different protocols, and the reality is it comes down to hormones and how our bodies perceive and respond to stress. Testosterone can actually increase with intermittent fasting, better insulin sensitivity improvements, and males can handle more aggressive protocols without hormonal disruption. For females, the hormonal sensitivity factor, their bodies are extinguishingly sensitive to perceived stress, and fasting is a form of stress. And here's why women need modified approaches. It's the cortisol response. So extending fasting can trigger excessive cortisol release, and high cortisol disrupts estrogen and progesterone balance, which can interfere with the HPA axis, or the hypothalamic pituitary axis. It also may lead to irregular cycles. In the follicular phase, which are days like 1 to 14, women typically tolerate fasting better. The luteal phase, which are days 15 to 28, they actually have increased craving, sensitivity, and metabolic changes. So be aware of that if you're going to start. Then reproductive health, female bodies prioritize reproductive function. They perceive caloric restriction, and it actually can shut down reproductive hormones. So this is a protective mechanism, but it can actually lead to fertility issues. Now, let's talk about why fasting is worth doing. The science-backed benefits that occur when you find the right protocol for your body, they're supported by published research, which I'll drop some of those links in the description. So some of the primary benefits are weight loss and body composition. So you can expect enhanced fat burning during fasting hours, reduced visceral fat, preserved muscle mass compared to traditional caloric restriction. You'll have blood sugar and diabetes management. You'll see improved insulin sensitivity, reduced insulin resistance, better glucose regulation, heart health, you'll have balanced cholesterol levels, lower blood pressure, better cardiovascular function, psychological well-being. Research has shown that intermittent fasting can decrease depression and binge eating behavior. It can reduce anxiety around eating. Some of the advanced benefits are, I called some of these out, but it's reduced inflammation. So studies have shown intermittent fasting can reduce key markers of inflammation. It lowers the risk of chronic inflammatory conditions. It also can reduce pain and joint inflammation, cellular health as well, and longevity. Autophagy, which is your body's cellular cleaning crew, and removal of damaged proteins. It also has anti-aging effects at a cellular level. In animal studies, intermittent fasting has been shown to extend lifespan anywhere from 33 to 83%. And while human longevity effects are still being studied, the cellular benefits are clear. Lastly is brain function, improved cognitive function and mental clarity, enhanced focus and productivity. One of the questions I always get is, when will I see results? And here's a realistic timeline. Within the first 7 days, you're gonna see reduced bloating, you're gonna have some increased mental clarity, you'll have more stable energy levels, you'll probably get better sleep quality, and overall, you'll have less cravings. In the second to, I'd say the fourth week, you're going to be building momentum here. You'll have improvement in energy levels. You'll have fat burning becomes more efficient. Your clothes will probably fit better. You'll have improved digestion, clearer skin, and you'll probably start to see some initial weight loss, typically between 2 to 8 pounds. Weeks 4 through 8, you'll have a little bit of a transformation. You'll have sustainable weight loss that'll continue. You'll have improved body composition. You'll have a better hormonal balance, and you'll have an increased metabolic flexibility, meaning the ability to flex between glucose and keto, and you won't have any crashes there. And by 3 months, when you these is where you start to get into the long-term benefits. These are lasting metabolic improvements. So you'll be optimized hormonal function. You'll definitely significantly improve your insulin sensitivity. You'll have sustained healthy weight. You'll have reduced disease risk markers, and you'll have enhanced cellular repair and longevity markers. So I think the key here to getting success and seeing success is, number one, find your protocol. For males, start with the 16/8 method and build from there. For females, start with the crescendo method. Make fasting on your schedule and make it fit to your lifestyle. Start gradually. Begin with shorter fasts, build up slowly over weeks. Don't jump right into a 24-hour fast immediately. Stay consistent. Find a routine that's sustainable. The goal is to get uncomfortable to ultimately be comfortable. Incorporate fasting into your daily or weekly routine. Listen to your body. For women, track your menstrual cycle. Monitor energy, sleep, and mood. If something feels wrong, adjust it or stop. People have different bio-individuality, and this may not work for you. So I'm not giving you specifically medical advice, but always consult your healthcare provider before you start the fasting protocol, especially if you have any medical conditions. In closing, fasting is a powerful tool for optimizing your health. But like any tool, it needs to be used correctly for your body. Remember, males generally do better with longer, more aggressive protocols. Females need modified approaches to protect hormonal health. The benefits are real and science-backed. Results take time, so be patient and be consistent. And your unique body may require a unique approach. And if you have a medical condition, definitely consult with your doctor. The goal isn't just to fast, it's to create a sustainable lifestyle that supports your optimal health for years to come. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe for more evidence-based health content. Drop a comment below with your fasting questions or experiences. Thanks for watching, and here's to crushing your health goals this coming year.